So let's talk a little bit about prospect literary agent. I always want to give people the opportunity to, of all the literary agencies that are out there, the esteemed audience could be choosing. Why is prospect agency the best?
Which is, isn't it? No. I mean, no, and again, it's something that agents always try to stress to people too. There's no one right agency. There's no one right agent. Someone could have a great experience with an agency and somebody else could not. What I really love about Prospect is that it's a smaller agency. There's still a few different agents there, so we can bounce ideas off of each other. But also there's a real sense of community there. And so recently we've had our third client retreat at Highlights Foundation. We actually had our first one during the pandemic, but it was in the fall and it was beautiful weekend. So we were able to do everything masked and outside, which was great. And then we had a slightly larger retreat in the following fall, and then we just had one in the spring. So these are times where you have a chance to meet one-on-one with your agent. You also have a chance to meet in small groups. Sometimes we'll group people according to the genre they're working on or different interests. And then there will be large group discussions to talk about the industry. So I know that the clients really appreciate that. And again, just that sense of community, because so many people are working they're working alone. And so to be able to have that, that opportunity to connect with people who are working on projects somewhat similar or very different to them. We try to do that. We used to also do a soiree in the spring where we would invite editors and art directors. We used to have it in Brooklyn. Now we have it in Manhattan, and everyone would come together. And it was a great way just to network and be able to place faces with names and everyone to see the artwork that our illustrators have done. So that's been something that we really made it a priority to find opportunities for clients to connect with one another and also for them to connect with industry professionals. And we also try to really make an effort on the illustration side to do promos. We used to do a holiday calendar and some postcard mailings when everyone was in the office. Now that editors and art directors are working from home, we do a monthly promo where every artist is given a prompt, and then they can create a piece of artwork about the prompt, and then we send that out as an email blast. So that's something that's a benefit for illustrators. And I think just the fact that we are somewhat small, and I know a lot. We do have a lot of clients, but for example, at the retreats, I was able to meet some of Charlotte's clients, one of Emily's clients, and it really has that family appeal, and that we work on a broad range of things. So if one of my clients wanted to work on some adult projects, I can go to Emily and Anne and say, hey, I have this adult project. You guys work on adult books. Who are some people I can send this to? And then likewise, the other way around, if Emily has anyone who's writing a picture book, she can send it to me, give my feedback, see who might be a good fit. So I like the fact that there are only a few of us, but we cover a range of genres and can bounce ideas off of each other.
Gotcha. So you're networking with each other. The clients are networking with each other. Are you inviting outside editors or anybody to come in and meet everybody? Or is it more about getting to know the prospect family?
At the retreats, it's just getting to know the prospect family. But at the soirees, those are when we would invite the editors and art directors in, so that they would have a chance to, and also, right, just to see that they're real people as well. Which is important. And usually after we would have the soirees, we would have at least a few good sales right after that. Just getting people excited about them. And it's important as well for editors and agents to be able to make connections. And again, we have had people fly in for the soiree, so it's not only beneficial for people who are in the New York, New Jersey area. We try to provide those opportunities. Like that's an example of an opportunity where even if you live in Minnesota or North Carolina, you can come to the soiree and be able to meet people there. So, and then also in terms of location, Emily and I are both based in New Jersey, but Anne is in Texas and Charlotte is in the Boston area. So it's been nice as well. Even before the pandemic, we were already working remotely, and I find that it's nice to have people just in different areas who also have different connections in their regions too.
Regular esteemed audience members know that this is something I'm passionate about, is decentralizing publishing, because I figure the further they get away from NYC, the more opportunity there is for a diversity in every sense of the word of people to work in publishing, because of the lower cost of living, and just folks that have a completely different experience that haven't lived in NYC. So yeah, are there things you find that you absolutely have to be there in New York City to be able to accomplish, or are you able to be as effective as a literary agent in New Jersey or Texas or someplace else?
Yeah, no, definitely. I like being able to get into the city and meet with editors for lunch. For example, if there's a contract that's been especially painful, then afterwards I'm like, hey, let's meet up for lunch. Let's kind of, have a good lunch, can just wash all that contract pain away. And so it's nice that at least both Emily and I are here and we can go into the city and meet with people. And then I'll relay information back to Charlotte and Anne as well and say, oh, hey, I just, I had lunch with this person. Here's what they're looking for now. Here's what they're not looking for, keep them in mind for these things. But those kind of things we've also been able to do over Zoom. We just had a Zoom meeting last week with Union Square Kids, and we had a Zoom meeting with a woman who's starting up an American imprint of a Spanish publisher who does mostly adult, but it's so interesting to hear what they do. And I don't know, that was just an example of, I find that I always, if there's some kind of meeting potential like that, I just will say yes, because, and I always encouraging my authors and illustrators to take advantages of opportunities like that, because you never know, maybe that's not something that's right for us now, but could be right down the road. And that woman, for example, was based in Miami, and whereas Union Square Kids is based in New York, but it was still a Zoom meeting that we had. Did that help to? So I guess I enjoy being able to put the face with the name and make those personal connections. But I feel like Anne and Charlotte have not been at a loss at being able to do that while being in Boston and Texas.
I do love that idea of always being able to network and to meet people, because even if they're not going to represent the book you're working on now, well, you're only ever going to write one book. you might have something. And I also love that you want to take somebody out to lunch after a tough contract negotiation to smooth things over, because at some point you're probably going to want to sell them another book, right?
Right. No, for sure. And especially if there's someone I haven't met before. And at the end of the day, the issue with the contract, like that's not even, it doesn't really even have to do with them. It's more like the contracts person or the publisher, not the editor in particular, but yeah.
So when it comes to contract time, you've got to be resolute. You've got to represent the best interest of your clients. But after that, there's no reason we can't all be wonderful friends and put that unpleasantness behind us, right?
Yeah, exactly.